Warning, despite the subject matter at the focus of these videos, my reviews are not intended for viewers under the age of 13, so if you're not of age, turn off the video now. Are they gone? Great, let's get to the intro already. Beast Morphers seems to have fallen into a filler episode black hole recently. Sure, we've had episodes that further the villain plot, but the Beast Powers plot is designed for filler episodes, and last time didn't even mention that plot. So now we have Tuba Triumph, which sounds like a filler episode if I've ever heard one. The good news is, Beast Morphers has managed to make most of these episodes enjoyable, but I wish we were moving at a faster pace. Early on in this show, I compared it to Ninjago, rest in peace Kirby, and part of my excitement came from the level of storytelling Ninjago has. As mentioned in my review of the Ninjago movie, the Ninjago series has episodes that serve season-long story arcs. Every episode exists to progress the plot, while character moments are sprinkled in to further the development of the cast. This is the model I kinda hoped Beast Morphers was going to emulate, but I understand that I'm asking for a 20-episode series to copy the structure of a 10-episode series, which is a little unfair. And that's not even going into the fact that Power Rangers is using footage from a Japanese show that's 40 episodes long. All I'm saying is, while I understand the need for filler episodes, I do feel that Beast Morphers is spinning its wheels right now. But at any rate, I should go ahead and plow through this episode so I can get to something interesting. This is Power Rangers Beast Morphers, Episode 13, Tuba Triumph. The episode opens with Ravi watching a kid play tuba while drawing a pretty impressive sketch of the scene. The other Rangers are busy playing football, but when Zoe goes into Ravi's area to get the ball, the Blue Ranger switches his sketch pad with a GB manual. Zoe asks if Ravi would like to join their game, but he says he's brushing up on emergency procedures. After Zoe leaves, Ravi sees the tuba player getting picked on. When one of the bullies pours a can of soda into the tuba, the kid throws what must be an expensive instrument in the trash. Bit of an extreme reaction, but I get the point. Ravi goes to check on the kid, who says that playing tuba is stupid, but Ravi reassures the kid that it's not, adding that his grandfather played tuba in a jazz band. The kid introduces himself as Joey before asking if Ravi can teach him karate, since he's seen the teen do that at the gym. Ravi agrees, so the two decide to meet at the gym later, but after Joey leaves, Roxy shows up to turn the tuba into a Robotron. She equips Tubatron with a data chip to record Devon's beast power before the big brass alerts the Rangers to his presence. The team promptly morphs into action, and during the fight, Roxy joins in to beat the shit out of most of the team before morphing. Eventually, the Rangers get the upper hand in the fight and force the villains to teleport away. When Roxy and Tubatron get to the Cyberverse, the General blames their failure on the brass bot, so Scruzzle gets to work creating a device that will amplify Tubatron's sonic blasts. At GB, Nate is working on an upgrade of his own, since he's tuned the Gigadron detectors to Tubatron's frequency, so the Rangers will know where he is when he shows up again. After that, Ravi begins training Joey in the martial arts, but also makes the kid understand that martial arts are only used to defend yourself. Days of practice go by, but Joey is having a hard time mastering the tornado kick. Ravi recommends they take a break and that Joey do something to make him happy, but Joey says playing the tuba used to make him happy, adding that he regrets throwing it away. Back in the Cyberverse, Squirzel equips Tubatron with his new amplifier, so the villains test it out on Blaze despite his protests. Cutting back to GB, Ben and Betty walk in on Ravi cleaning a tuba next to a bunch of old instruments. Their eyes light up as they decide to form a band together until Commander Shaw walks in.
Is that my father's old tuba?
Yes, ma'am, it's Grandpa's. It was in the attic.
You're not thinking of playing that thing, are you? You know a Power Ranger can't afford any silly distractions.
Absolutely, I agree. But it's not for me, I was just giving it to a friend. Is that okay?
Go right ahead. We have much more important things to worry about.
Oh, this is starting to make sense. Ravi brushes off that near-verbal beating and goes back to the gym where he continues training Joey. After another failed tornado kick, Ravi tells Joey not to be so hard on himself before the two take a break. Joey finds Ravi's sketchpad where he sees the Blue Rangers drawings of all things, like him and Roxy together. Joey compliments Ravi on the sketches, but the teen says he's not ready to show them to people yet, before presenting Joey with a new tuba. Joey's excited at first until he realizes he'll get teased, but Ravi says life is about standing up for yourself and being true to who you are. Later, Joey tries his new tuba in the park, but unintentionally sets off the Gigadrone detectors. The Rangers go to investigate, however, after they find Joey, they are immediately attacked by Tubatron. We get a cool running morph shot as the Rangers engage Tubatron and Roxy, and during the fight, Devin's cheetah speed is recorded. Despite their best efforts, the team is knocked down by Tubatron's blasts, and as they try to figure out what to do, Nate says they can counteract Tubatron's sound with something that has a similar sound wave. Overhearing this, Joey springs into action, and we get a tuba battle that is somehow won by the kid. Damn, he's gotta have lungs of steel. With Tubatron stunned, the Rangers take aim at his amplifier, and once that's destroyed, the team blasts Tubatron, unknowingly shooting off the data chip. Roxy picks up the data chip with glee before teleporting out, but when she gets back to the Cyberverse, Scruzzle tells her the chip is too damaged to use. Even though Roxy is pissed at this discovery, she still orders Scruzzle to deploy a Gigadrone, and before Nate and Steel deal with it, Nate records Joey's tuba sound, saying he's got a plan. While that's going on, the other Rangers are dealing with Tubatron and Tronics, but they make quick work of the bots before their Zords are deployed. Ravi uses Nate's recording to counteract the Gigadrone's own tuba power, giving the other Rangers an opening to blast the thing down before the Zords combine to finish the drone off. After the fight, Joey tells Ravi how cool it was to help the Power Rangers before Ben and Betty arrive for their band's first practice. The two's bad playing catches the attention of the bullies from earlier, so Joey steps in to defend them using a successful tornado kick to knock the lead bully's hat off. After the bullies retreat, Ravi tells Joey he's proud of him, and the episode ends with Joey giving Ravi a gift.
I think it's really good. As a thank you. And a reminder of what you taught me. Life's about being yourself, no matter what other people think.
It's not that simple, kid. This episode is utterly fantastic and better than anything I could have hoped for given the title. My favorite thing about this episode is how it goes about deconstructing the Blue Ranger trope, but before I dive into those deep waters, let me make mention of the smaller bits that also work here. First things first, I'm glad we opened this episode with Nate and Steel trying to play football. It's a nice moment of continuity that groups this episode with the last one, now that Beast Morphers is getting back to the main plot. However, it's a little weird that this is the only reference we get, considering Blaze is also in this episode. I also like that we dig the teensiest bit into Roxy, with this being, I think, the first time she's fought the Rangers unmorphed, plus she makes a Robotron out of an item Ravi was looking at, making me think she's secretly spying on him. I wouldn't put it past Beast Morphers to hint at a love-hate relationship between Ravi and Roxy, since it could be very interesting if developed over time. Speaking of things that are well developed, I think this episode cemented Ravi Shaw as the most compelling character on this show. Not only have I enjoyed every single one of his Ranger-focused episodes, but most if not all provide a window into his backstory. As soon as Ravi was introduced, I pegged him as the by-the-book Blue Ranger, so I was very surprised when we got to this episode and he was hiding behind a GB manual to keep up that facade. At first I thought this was going your typical hide a secret talent from the rest of your team to avoid embarrassment, and I was certain this episode was going to end with Zoe or Devin finding Ravi's drawings and complimenting him for them. But to this show's credit, the reason Ravi is hiding his hobby is because of something I called back in the episode 1 review, though I didn't know it at the time. In fact, he was willing to break up with his girlfriend because it's against the rules for Rangers to date each other. Granted, that might be because his mother is the commander of Grid Battle Force. Yep. That's it. Commander Shaw wholeheartedly believes that a Ranger should have no distractions whatsoever. Hell, she nearly bit Ravi's head clean off when she thought he was playing the same instrument that her father used to. This revelation is great because it gives Ravi more in common with Devin, since both Rangers have parents that are totally controlling of them. However, where Devin stays true to himself, or at least is still trying to find himself by pushing against his father, Ravi actively hides his interests from everyone so he can make his mother happy. In fact, I'm curious if Commander Sean knew that Ravi and Roxy were ever a couple, and if Ravi just made up the no Ranger dating rule so that Roxy would break up with him before his mother found out. I guess we won't really know if that's an official rule until Nate makes a move on Zoe. Honestly, the only thing I wasn't crazy about in this episode were the kids. Don't get me wrong, Joey is decent here, and I like that he tells Ravi to stay true to himself, even though the Blue Ranger is miles away from telling everyone about his knack for drawing. The thing I wasn't too keen on when it comes to Joey is his ability to outplay a Robotron in the tuba battle, but that's a very small nitpick. However, when it comes to the kid bullies, I really hated how they were about to beat up Ben and Betty near the end of the episode. I get that Ben and Betty are supposed to be comic relief, but I found it hard to believe that they were going to get the shit kicked out of them by someone who's 5 or 6 years younger than they are. On top of that, I don't remember there being an instance where Bulk and Skull were intimidated by children. I'm not saying that didn't happen, I just don't remember it. So if you know a scene like that, please tell me in the comments. Overall, despite the minor issues I had with the kids, this episode is a great watch that I highly recommend. Leave it to Chip Lynn to deconstruct the Blue Ranger trope to perfection, and if he plans on doing this with the rest of the cast, then I'm all for it. I'm Nick, aka IronBat1993, and may the power protect you.